Like I've shown in previous videos, Rabbinical Judaism isn't the religion of the Old Testament, like many people assume. Long ago, before, and especially after they sought the crucifixion of the Son of God, the rabbis morphed their religion into a Luciferian blend of Talmudic legalism with satanic Babylonian Kabbalah mysticism. There is no separation from Judaism from the Talmud or Kabbalah. They are all intertwined and lead to one another. Within this Luciferian religion, having a magic divine and holy language in which they are the only keepers of is vital. The modern Masoretic Hebrew language is their powerful magic language. It is their idol. Judaism, through Kabbalah, teaches that speaking this magic language properly can invoke godly powers. It's a formulated system used to hack into the divine and to become like gods, to do what thou wilt. According to the Zohar, the main text of Kabbalah, it was Moses, not God, who parted the Red Sea using a powerful spiritual technology. This technology is derived from the 72 names of God found in the Tetragrammaton, a metaphysical formula encoded within 3 specific verses of the Torah, Exodus 14, each verse containing 72 letters. The Kabbalists teach that this formula, known as a Shem HaMforash, the explicit name, grants access to the subatomic realm of nature and allows one to influence the physical world. The miracle of Moses parting the Red Sea was not performed solely by divine intervention, but required Moses to use the powerful magic of Kabbalah within the Tetragrammaton's Shem HaMforash. The Kabbalist rabbis who rewrote their scriptures into what would become the corrupted Masoretic text needed a set of scriptures that would be compatible with this metaphysical technology of the Shem HaMforash. Their true ancient scriptures needed to be revised in order to successfully perform their Kabbalah gematria magic. For example, we read on Chabad.org. The 3 consecutive verses from Exodus 14, 19 through 21 each contain 72 letters, an obviously rare phenomenon. The letters of these 3 verses can be arranged as 72 triplets of letters, but we are taught in Kabbalah that if we reverse the order of the letters in the middle set, the 72 triplets become 72 names of God, as we see here in this magical graph of the Shem HaMforash. Side note, you'll notice that in the Jewish name game, they are to refrain from spelling out the full word God and instead write G-D. Another article on Chabad.org explains, "So it is with the comprehension of the blessed holy names. There are names in charge of prayer, mercy, and forgiveness, while others are in charge of tears and sadness, injury and tribulations, sustenance and income, or heroism, loving kindness, and grace. If one does not know how to concentrate on the very name, which is the key to the answer of his request, then who is to blame if the request is not granted? It is his own foolishness and ignorance. As it is written, a man's folly subverts his ways, and his heart rages against G-D. Proverbs 19:3. One must therefore familiarize oneself with the ways of Torah and know the purpose of the holy names. We should be expert in them. And when he needs to request something from G-D, he should concentrate on the name designated to handle that request. If he does so, then not only will his request be granted, but he will be loved in the heavens and beloved in the world. He will inherit both this world and the next." Again, on Chabad.org, we read, "Unlike other languages, the very words and letters of biblical Hebrew are holy. Hebrew is a language used for creating the world, and it is a language of choice that G-D uses to reveal himself to the prophets." Clearly, the Hebrew language is the golden calf of rabbinical Judaism. According to their own writings, without chanting their engineered Hebrew language, they have no power or access to their G-D, which again should confirm to Christians that the God of Judaism is clearly not God the Father. "But when ye pray, use not vain repetitions, as the heathen do, for they think that they shall be heard for their much speaking. Be not ye therefore like unto them, for your Father knoweth what things ye have need of, before ye ask him." Matthew 6, 7 through 8. What is truly ironic and perversely inverted is that while the Jews claim their modern Masoretic Hebrew language is the original language of God, they actually reject the original Phoenician Paleo-Hebrew language of Moses. On Torah.com, we read an article titled, "The Transformation of Hebrew Script from Paleo-Hebrew to Aramaic." Before the exile, Israelites and Judahites wrote in Old Hebrew script. During the Second Temple period, Aramaic script slowly replaces Old Hebrew, to the extent that the rabbis even disqualify a Torah scroll written in Old Hebrew. Wow, this tells us everything we need to know. If the rabbis can't practice their gematria Kabbalah magic using their Masoretic Aramaic script Hebrew, then the Torah is of no use to them and must be disqualified. After I read this and looked at the Old Testament translation map again, I now highly suspect that these lost versions of the scriptures weren't actually lost, but perhaps were destroyed. But that's just a guess on my part. The most famous manuscript for the Masoretic text is called the Leningrad Codex. And as you can see, it has the hexagram on it, which most people are told is the Star of David. But in reality, there is no Star of David mentioned once in the Bible. But in the New Testament, we read about the Star of Remphan, as described in Acts 7:43, where Stephen condemns Jewish idolatry, saying, "Yea, ye took up the tabernacle of Moloch, and the star of your god Remphan, figures which ye made to worship them, and I will carry you away beyond Babylon." If we do a little digging, we can find that Remphan is another name for the god Kayun, pronounced Chiyun, mentioned in Amos 5:26. And then looking further, we also see that Chiyun is actually the god Saturn. So we learn now that the Star of David is actually the Star of Saturn. If we study the Star of Saturn, we see that it has 6 points, and there are 6 triangles that make up each of these 6 points. And all 3 angles in an equilateral triangle are 60 degrees. And then finally, we see that the center of the Star of Saturn contains a shape with 6 sides we call a hexagon. And a hexagon is a 2-dimensional expression of the 3-dimensional cube. This is where we get the term black cube of Saturn. The Star of Saturn is one of the most high occultic symbols used extensively in sigil magic for conjuring and controlling demons. The Star of Saturn is also used in Kabbalah to represent their androgyne god, symbolizing the union between masculine and feminine gods, the male deity Yahweh and the feminine deity Shekinah. The Star of Saturn is so occultic that it is used in the most highest orders of witchcraft, like Aleister Crowley's Order of Thelema. On thelemapedia.org, it showcases the works of Aleister Crowley, for example, his Greater Ritual of the Hexagram. Crowley explains the procedure. The hexagram of Earth alone is used. Trace the astrological sigil of the planet in the center of your hexagram. Use a conjuration with the name of the god corresponding to the planet or sign you're dealing with. And then if we scroll down, we see the different names of their gods, which are attached to specific planets. And please note that every one of these names are the Hebrew names invented within the Tetragrammaton of Yod-He-Vav-He. To conjure the demon attached to the sun, the name is Yahweh Yod-He-Vav-He Eloah Vedath. Mercury's name is Elohim Zabaoth. Venus's name is Yod-He-Vav-He Tzabaoth. To conjure the demon attached to the moon, the name is Shaddai El Chai. Mars's name is Elohim Gibor. Jupiter's is El. And finally, we have the god of Saturn, whose name is Yod-He Vav-He Elohim. These are all the names that the Jews have tricked Christians into believing are names for God the Father, but in actuality, these are the names of the wandering stars, or more specifically, fallen angels, all derived from the Hebrew Kabbalah Jewish name game. We must remember that these Kabbalah names of the Tetragrammaton and the Tetragrammaton itself were never used in the oldest translation of the Hebrew scriptures, the Septuagint. These names are an invention of the modern Hebrew occultic language of the Masoretic text, the medieval Bible of the Jewish Kabbalists.